What's going on, everybody? We are live. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like, comment, and you will see where everything here with the news and certain things. So the biggest story today, right now, Don Lemon just got arrested in a hotel in LA. I think it's kind of karma, you know. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe, like, comment, share these videos out. Like I said, we are demonetized. We're working on getting that back. Also, we have been shadow banned. So I need you guys to push this content out. Help this channel grow. Push this content out. Like I said, we got shadow banned. We got demonetized in Christmas. I just really believe they don't like the truth. You know, they don't like people speaking the truth. This is my fourth channel, so if you're new here, thank you. Like I said, hit that subscribe button. The biggest way to support, you know, what we do here. So, and the biggest news today is Don Lemon has been arrested in LA in a hotel room early this morning, right before sunrise. Most of you guys know that the judges would not sign off on it, but I think they finally found death penalty charges for Magione under review. Someone said he tried to escape yesterday or the day before from prison. The guy that shot the healthcare worker, he's due back, I think, in court, talking about trying to dismiss where they grabbed his bag and searched his backpack, you know, when he was sitting in the fast food restaurant when they first caught him. Because that does go against the Fourth Amendment. So, like I said, welcome to the channel, guys. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Share this stuff out. I stream every day, guys. I'm a little early this morning. Trust me, I'm like 3 hours early because we've just had so much breaking news. We got Tom Holman did his press conference yesterday. I mean, everything that's going down in Minnesota is just, completely just out of character for a lot of people. I've got a guy, I did research some things. I got another guy that sends me stuff in news and information. He also said he would witness them bringing in like Greyhound sized buses of people that first time when, after the Nicole Good lady got shot. Sorry. I've been up since 3:30. This is my second cup of coffee, guys. Hey, thank you, guys. What's up, Lone Cowboy? Long time no see, buddy. Please make sure you hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you're new here. We do all things good, anything, everything. We bring you all kinds of content, not just politics and news. We show motorcycle content. We show real life content. I love to just stream. I'm not an influencer. I like to stream. You can call me a streamer. You can call me an asshole. I don't care. It is what it is. But like I said, the latest news this morning, breaking news, is Don Lemon has been arrested. We're going to try to find some of that stuff for you guys. Been watching, been hitting the thumbs up. Hey, thank you, Lone Cowboy. Did you get any of that major snow out there, man? I mean, we got hit with some ice here where I'm at. You know where I'm at. You've been to my house. So yeah, we got hit with like maybe not even a quarter of an inch of snow, but we got like a half inch of ice on the ground. I mean, it's still in my driveway and it's just thick and it's miserable. Nashville's still just a sheet. It looks like glass, Nashville is still just looking like glass. Are you in the truck? I see that you're on the phone. So are you driving? Is it bad out there where you're at? Let me check over here. We're live on the green platform as well over there, guys. I did start a new Kick account. If you're on Kick, please go follow under the same name. We are on Rumble as well. We're live right now on Rumble as well. So there's a lot of people talking about it. I was trying to give the news kind of like a few minutes to kind of catch up because everybody's like trying to break this shit and stream and everything. The ice was down south. Yeah, we had 4 to 5 inches of snow. I've been trucking all week. Hey, I tell you what, man, I prefer snow. I would have preferred to get a foot of snow over this half inch of ice. I mean, my kid has been out of school all week, not just because of ice. They got the roads clear finally, but the cold ass weather. It's been down on my, you know where I'm at. I'm on top of the mountain. It's been down to like 5 degrees and 7 degrees every night. But of course, wind chill and everything's like -3 and 4. It feels like it's just completely like I'm a fucking Eskimo. I know I'm Native American and European, but fuck, dude, I'm not an Eskimo. I don't want this cold ass weather. I hate it. Of course, I chose to move back into the mountains. That was my choice. And it's all right. I love the country. I love everything about the mountains, but because I'm away from the cities, and the cities are like really crazy right now. And to tell you the truth, I prefer not to even be near any city. I mean, I just don't. I'm not scared. I don't walk around in paranoia state, but I'm scared of what I would do. That's where my issue is. I'm more scared of what I would do to somebody than what somebody's going to do to me. That's where I stand, because the shit that I've been through in life, the prison, everything I've been through, it takes a lot for me to be this calm. A lot of people don't understand. There's a totally different. I'm 45 years old, guys. I've lived a life for 25, 30 years, and I am now living a more calm life after 15, 16, 17 years. People don't get that. People's like, yeah, but these are cool. Yeah, I've always been a cool dude and all that. But here's the thing. I got a background, I worked hard to be this calm and you know, not so violent. Exactly. FAFO. You're in your truck right now. It was 14 below this Monday. Man, well, let me put you there. I'll put your stuff on the screen. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I got demonetized. I'm shadow banned. So it's hard to even get my channel pushed out there. In March, I get to, reappeal it. And I had to go re-edit some shorts and do some stuff that they said I was violating their new 2026 terms and policies, the TOS. And people don't understand when people say TOS, TOS. A lot of people are like, because I'm a streamer, I know what some things mean. I'm not perfect. I'm 45. I'm not 20-year-old streamer. So, terms of service is when people say don't TOS my channel, you know what I mean? Don't violate the terms and service, but they changed a lot of the terms and service. They started getting a lot stricter. And that's why I went to these other platforms, because it's just, especially the Green Plus platform over there. Dude, you can even type in the chat whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's as long as it's not threatening or violence, which I don't do that anyways, and I don't do it on here. It's just that I don't understand YouTube sometimes, because I can make something and then I can see someone else doing the same shit, and I'm like, now, why are you demonetizing me for this? But this guy, even if they're not a big channel, like why are they getting away with it, but you want to hit me? It's funny. It's just, it works. Oh, you're good. It is. Yeah, me too. I'm sick of all that bullshit, man. Like all this nonsense, and then like Anna Navarro of The View comes out and says, Alex Preddy, the one that got unalived the other day by the ICE agents, she's like, "This is the kind of guy you want your daughter dating. This is the guy that's really good." And then the video comes out of him being violent and breaking out the ICE officer, spitting in the ICE officers like a week before he got shot. And it's like, really? Now let's go see if you come back out on The View and speak about how you still think that your daughter should date a guy like this. Yeah, bullshit. Of course, they never retract anything. They never say anything like that. So it's always funny to me that these people, they jump out, they rush to judgment, they say this stuff, and then when the truth comes out of who these people are, and it's like, yeah, you still think that's a good person? I mean, come on. Let's go over here. I'm going to go over here and see where I'm at on this stream. We're going to try to catch some news, guys. We're going to try to catch some of this Don Lemon issue. Let's see over here. Where is the... Come on. I hate commercials over. I need to get that premium. Okay, Holman announces changes in Minnesota. Yeah, he did. He announced a lot of stuff. Tom Holman did. I'm trying to find. I was trying to give it time to catch up with the news feed and everything. People don't understand. If you're not a streamer, some things just come in late. Some things would take time to get up to date. Maybe we can find it over here. Let's go over here to YouTube and let's see if we can find a new tab here. Okay, yes, Don Lemon. We got Tom Holman. We have live breaking right here. Let's see. Okay, right here. Let's go to this and okay, let's see here. Go back to StreamYard. Let's hit the stream, share screen. We can share here. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's he's got millions of dollars, so he'll have some of the best lawyers there is. We know that. I mean, that's the thing. He's probably more than likely going to getting a slap on the wrist because he's like, oh, because he's ex CNN. And we know most people that's ex CNN, that's got money. He has a bigger name than these other people, whatever. I think it's kind of pathetic to treat somebody like that, though. We're going to listen in and see what she's saying.
Former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been arrested. Here's what we're learning. This is from Bill Mallusion with Fox News saying, per multiple law enforcement sources, former CNN anchor Don Lemon was arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles this morning in connection to the storming of a church in Minnesota by anti-ICE agitators. We also do have some more social media posts as well that we'll put up on your screen here for you. But once again, as we just read there, this comes after Lemon followed and spoke to demonstrators who disrupted a church service in a video he posted to his YouTube channel. The New York Post also reporting that it is not immediately clear what charges he is facing at this time. This comes after former CNN host Don Lemon said during an interview last week that the Trump administration would go around a judge or retrofit a law to prosecute him after he followed agitators into a St. Paul, Minnesota church earlier.
He was part of it.
Also last week, a federal...
He didn't just follow agitators. He was an agitator. He got into the pastor's face. He got into other people's face. He was showing because he was live streaming it. And he went almost up to the van and showing these kids screaming. Now, let me tell you something. You want to go in a church and pray? I don't agree with going in a church and protesting. I do not believe in anything that any of those 26 people did because there was like 26 of them. Here's my issue, not with just Don Lemon, but these other people. There's an unwritten rule with me, and it's a common sense rule. You don't mess with kids. All right. Kids are innocent. You don't mess with kids. And when you storm a church or anywhere, a grocery store, an alley, I don't care where you're at, whatever. And their kids are sitting there screaming and crying in fear, holding on to their moms and dads, terrified. Even teenage kids, they were scaring these teenage girls and boys. When these kids are terrified like the way they was, you crossed the line with me. You want to say something to my face? I'm an adult. Come say it. But when you're sitting there screaming at kids, especially the other guy, screaming, calling them white privileged and all this shit, terrifying these kids, you crossed that line. And I would say, majority of the people would agree with me. Kids are off limits. And that's where you cross the line. When you sit, even Don Lemon, and the preacher, the pastor, whatever you call him, he told him, leave. We don't need you here. We're trying to do our, so, and he told him, get out. You're not welcome. You don't do that. But my biggest issue is when, the kids, when you cross that line and you start terrifying these kids, that's when I have an issue. Come talk to me like that in my face. And the reason I say that is because I've got children. I got 3 daughters. Most people know that. And I got a granddaughter. I can't tell you how I would have reacted in that church. I don't think I would have been that calm. I can tell you that. I don't think that guy would have done what he'd done if I would have been in that church. I'm just being honest, Christ had warriors too, not, you guys unalived the nice one, Charlie Kirk. You guys don't realize you guys took out the nice guy He was the nice one. He was the one willing to talk. I'm not the nice guy. Come storm my church like that, Don Lemon. Kids are off limits, no matter what situation you're in, what you do. I'm telling you, it's a common sense, just a thing that I was raised with, and most people are. You don't bother kids, teenagers. I don't care. 18-year-olds, not 22-year-old is a kid to me. Still a kid. I know they're an adult, young adult, because I got kids at the age, but they're still off limits.
Magistrate judge rejected the Justice Department's attempt to bring charges against Lemon. Lemon said that he needed to be in it for the long haul as well as keep calm and carry on. Lemon said after the DOJ called him out that he was just covering the protest. And
he also got on there and made a post saying, come Pam Bondi, come get, I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to continue doing it. Pam Bondi ain't going to do nothing, whatever, Karma, buddy, karma.
The agitators went to disrupt the service at St. Paul's City's church because they
he was the agitator as well.
Collaborated with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So once again, we are bringing you this breaking news here, as we do know Don Lemon arrested after that protest.
What gets me though is he has so much hatred for the white man. Did you hear what he was saying? The supremacy in the church, the white stuff, blah blah blah. But you're married to a white man. Well, I don't think you're married, because my Christian background tells me man can't marry man. You may claim you're married, but I don't believe that. Now, you're with a white man, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that you're married, because I don't believe two men and two women can get married. That's just what I believe. But you criticize and hate and all the stuff you spewed while you was on CNN about the white man and the white people and all this, but then you go home to a white man and you live in a white neighborhood. All these people do. Ilhan Omar, all these people that criticize and hate the white person go home to their gated communities in white neighborhoods with their white husbands or their white wives. Funny how we're the bad people, but you love us. But you love to be married to us. I mean, does that make any sense?
Disrupted that church service there in Minnesota. Now, we also do know that from Holman a bit earlier this week as well. Immigration operations continuing in Minnesota. Just yesterday in White House Borders are Tom Holman's first briefing after taking over Operation Metro Surge. And he said they're working on a drawdown plan for federal agents in Minnesota, but it depends on cooperation with state and local officials. And this comes after Holman said he's had conversations with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, the Minnesota Department of Corrections.
I hope they walked him out in a perk walk when they arrested him. They arrested him early, right before daylight, so they probably didn't. They probably was trying to be, respectful or discreet. I don't think so. I think they should have perk walked him right out there in front of everybody.
And other county sheriffs and local officials. And he said cooperation with local authorities, especially jails and prisons, will give federal agents better access to people in the United States illegally. This would then lead to fewer federal law enforcement on Minnesota streets. Holman said the drawdown plan of federal agents depends on cooperation and targets they have left to find. As for the number,
we're going to get into Tom Holman here in a bit.
Yesterday, Holman would not provide a number. Previously, court records show there were more than 3,000 federal agents in the state as part of Operation.
More than 3,000 federal agents in the state. Oh, that's good. Hey, they don't want to work with ICE. Here's the thing. They don't want to work with ICE. They want to be a problem. And here's what the problem is. The local police was not working with them and doesn't want to work with them because the mayor said not to, the governor said not to. So what do? Well, they have to bring in the border officers as a buffer to stand in between them and the riders. I don't call them protesters. Anyone that attacks their vehicles or throws stuff out, them are not protesters. So when the ICE agents have to go and do research or serve a warrant or go looking for somebody because they're not allowing them to in their jails to get them, they're releasing them. So when they go to do an operation, guess what? Who's in between the police? The local police can't help them. So they got to have somebody in between, like a buffer, so the public, the riders and protesters can't get to them. And that's all Border Patrol was doing, was being the buffer between the ICE officers and the public. Because you can't go and arrest somebody and serve a warrant or do any of that and try to look over your shoulder. I mean, that's dangerous. And they know it is. Why? Because they're throwing frozen bottles of ice, water that's like bricks at them. I mean, they're violating them. So, when Tom Holman did his conference up there, he's telling them, hey, we want, and he's been calling for the rhetoric to be down, everything, but they just don't want to. They don't want it. They want chaos. They want to bring chaos. Why? Well, to me, that kind of seems, deflecting the fraud. It kind of, I think it kind of takes away the fraud. Let's see if I can find his speech. Let's see. He was there in Minneapolis. Oh, yeah. Also, Kid Rock and the mayor went to Washington, spoke. I'm trying to find it, guys. I can't even find it. They don't even have it over here on this channel. Let's see if I can find it over here on this other channel. They usually have them. Where they at? Where you at? Let's see. Let me see if I can find the video. Maybe I can find it. I don't know. You telling me they don't have Tom Holman's speech on Fox? These people, let's see. Okay, that was 22 hours ago. Where is Tom Holman? Okay, right here it is. Yeah, we're not going to show it all, but we're going to show some of it, We're going to get into a little bit of it because I think he's done this for, what he say, since the Reagan administration. Like, he's done this since the Reagan administration, guys. The man knows what he's doing. I mean, just to be honest. Let's see. Do y'all like that view? That view, that view, that view. Let's see. Let's go back to that view. Okay.
Too early, isn't it?
Early, ain't it? He said.
Look, I've been given talking points, and I don't like reading speeches, never have.
Yeah.
But my chief of staff did put some stuff down here in writing, just to make sure I don't miss
If
anything.
you're over on Rumble, hit the follow button over there, guys.
Open up for questions. I've been on the ground less than 3 full days. I got in here Monday. President of the United States called me Monday morning and asked me to deploy here. Got here Monday evening, and I'm staying till the problem's gone.
Stay until the problem's
gone. A lot of progress in the last 3 days. Marcos Charles, he's running ICE operations here. There you go. Rodney Scott, Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection, standing here beside me. Good morning. I'm Tom Holman, Borders Czar for President Trump. I'm here on behalf of the President, along with U.S. Commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Rodney Scott, and Marcos Charles, who's leading the enforcement effort here right now. I've been on the ground since Monday to regain law and order in the city beloved by me and work together to remove threats from the community. During the past administration, well, I'll remember, more than 10 million illegal aliens entered this nation. Many were national security threats, public safety threats. We can't remember we're 2 million known gotaways. 2 million people who paid more to get away. Why? That's just scared the hell out of everybody. President Trump promised American people, including the residents of Minnesota, that he would work to ensure our communities are safe. And with that, this administration is absolutely focused on identifying removal aliens that pose a public safety threat and national security threats. And the numbers prove it. The data proves it. In the past few days, I've met with Governor Walz, Attorney General Ellison, Mayor Fry, numerous police chiefs and sheriffs, and I have more to meet. I'll also be continuing the dialogue with business and religious leaders in partnership in Minnesota, your community leaders. I'll be meeting with them too, because I want to hear what they have to say. In my meetings with folks so far, and most importantly, the governor and the AG, the Mayor Fry, we didn't agree on everything. I didn't expect to agree on anything. I've heard many people want to know why we're talking to people who they don't consider friends to the administration. Bottom line is you can't fix problems if you don't have discussions. I didn't come to Minnesota for photo ops or headlines. You haven't seen me. I came to seek solutions.
You
And
ain't
that's
even
what we're
seen
going
him.
to do.
He's been there and you ain't even
We-
seen him.
We've come a long way, and we got some good wins for the people of Minnesota, I think, and for the administration and for the safety and security of the city. One thing we did agree on, though, everybody I talked to agreed on, was the community safety is paramount. One thing we all agreed on was U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is a legitimate law enforcement agency that has a duty to enforce the laws enacted by Congress and keep this community safe. Like I've said many times for the last several years, even before this administration, jurisdictions that refuse to cooperate with federal immigration authorities are sanctuaries for criminals. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals and endangers the residents of the community. To be clear, we did not agree with Minnesota state and local officials that they would be involved in immigration enforcement. I didn't ask them to be immigration officers. I'm asking them to be cops working with cops to help take criminal aliens off the street. What we did agree upon is not to release public safety arrests back in the community, and they could be lawfully transferred to ICE. I'll speak more about that. I will highlight that the Minnesota state prison system under the Department of Corrections have been honoring ICE detainers. And we appreciate that important collaboration, and we're going to expand upon that. That decision has made Minnesota safer, not only for residents of Minnesota, but the men and women law enforcement, not just ICE, all law enforcement. Rather than arresting the same public safety threat, significant public safety threat over and over again, they agree to work with us to identify those people and remove them. I'm also pleased to announce I had a very good meeting with Attorney General Ellison, and he has clarified for me
I'm surprised.
county jails may notify ICE.
Attorney General Ellison, he sit there and praised Don
Well, I should
Lemon
take
for what he
custody.
did in that church.
Upon the release.
Don Lemon interviewed him.
And let me tell you why that's important. I know people are a lot concerned about the manpower has been set in law enforcement manpower. Look, I've said this many times before. I've said it for the last several years. Give us access to the illegal alien public safety threat.
Exactly.
Safety and security.
Let them in the jails.
It's common sense.
That's what
It's
he's
safer for the
asking.
community,
Just open up the, let
safer
them
for
go
the
in and
agent.
get these criminals.
and they're safer for the alien. Because anything can happen on a street arrest. It just makes common sense. And for the people that argue, well, we're a welcoming community because we want victims and witnesses of crime that are here illegally to feel safe to come to police without fear they're working with ICE. We're not going to talk to the victim and witness of crime. There's no problem there. They should feel safe to come to police and ask for help. All we want is to talk to the person that local and state law enforcement authorities locked in a jail cell.
Yep.
They chose to lock this person up.
Why isn't,
That's what we want to talk about.
yeah, why isn't they having any problem in, say, Texas or Florida? I know you're going to say, well, that's a red state. But no, Memphis, Tennessee. Why didn't they have a problem with that? That's a Democrat mayor. That's a Democrat leaders in Memphis. Trust me. I know. I live in Tennessee. I'm telling you, they worked with them. I've watched videos of people in Memphis saying, my kids can play in there, and black people saying, and this is no shit, black men on the news saying, we seen white women jogging down the road. Do you know, we haven't seen that in years because they're so scared. And I'm not trying to make it a race thing. I'm just saying, like, there were many of them that said, we feel comfortable that our kids can play in the yard. Our children can go out and play in the yard now. And this is in the black community, Memphis. They were saying, hey, and why? Because these Democrat mayors and stuff was willing to work with Tom Holman, with these ICE agents, and allow them to go into the jails and get these criminals. And that's what they don't understand. And I feel like if Minnesota would work with them and allow them into their jails to go get these criminals, they wouldn't have that many ICE officers or border agents there. I mean, they wouldn't need it. This shit wouldn't be happening in the streets. But from the way the governor and the mayor's been speaking in the last month, it's like they want chaos. They want to disrupt. They're pissed off because Trump went in there and didn't need their fucking permission to go in there. So now they're stirring up chaos and this rhetoric, just like Tom Holman said. He's been saying this forever. Stop. Do you know I think he said he hasn't even been home with his wife. He says it in this interview since like last March, because they're trying to find out where he lives. They're trying to find out who his grown kids are and his grandkids are. Now that's sick. You know what I mean? That needs to stop. All because he is doing his job that he's done under, I think he said 6 presidents. 6 presidents. He's done this. And not only that, he did it for Obama, that deported more people than any president. I mean, it's funny how they just change. You know, what happened to the common sense Democrat? When did they fall off the ledge? I think it was Obama. I think Obama started it all.
Safety threat. So the argument.
I really do.
I
think Obama started every bit of it.
That's crap. Victims and witnesses of crime don't want the bad guy back in their neighborhood either.
They really don't. Common sense tells you don't want a criminal living next door to you.
Local sheriffs.
You know?
And one thing, when we have these agreements, it takes less law enforcement agents to do the job.
You see?
One agent can arrest one bad guy in the safety and security of a jail where he's behind the wire. We know we don't have weapons.
Yep.
But when you normally release that public safety threat, illegal alien back in the community, we have a job to do.
Yep. They have to go hunt them down, find them.
So we're going to find them. And what happens is now we got to arrest somebody on his turf who has access to who knows what weapons.
Yep.
Now we got to send the whole team out. Covered back or cover the front or officer safety reasons. Then because of the hateful rhetoric and the attacks on ICE officers, now we got to send a security team behind the arrest team. So what could have been done with one person in a safety and security jail, now we got 15, 16 people out there doing it.
Because people have to watch the officers back.
So if we get these agreements in place.
He can't be arresting somebody and then turning around trying to watch to see if somebody's going to come up behind
More
him.
agents in the jail, and less agents in the street.
Yep.
This is common sense cooperation that allows us to draw down on the number of people we have here. Yes, I said it. Draw down the number of people here. Because we have the efficiency and safety of the jails and the prison. Matter of fact, I have staff, CBP, and from ICE working on a draw down plan. What does that look like based on the cooperation? What does that look like based on how many targets we have left to find?
He don't like giving speeches. You
In
can
my
tell.
meetings with Governor Walsh,
He shakes back and forth. He doesn't.
State and local law
He
enforcement.
prefers just to do his job.
Again, I appreciate they all acknowledge that we do have federal immigration laws in this country that have been passed by Congress, and that ICE is in fact a legitimate law enforcement agency charged with enforcing those laws. We're not making this up, folks. ICE is enforcing laws enacted by Congress. They're a federal statute. That said, I'm not here because the federal government has carried this mission out perfectly.
Yeah, you want that change? Go change. Go vote. Go to Congress
I
and
come here looking for photo ops or headlines. I come here looking for
protest.
solutions. I do not want to hear that everything's been done here has been perfect. Nothing's ever perfect, and anything can be improved on. And what we've been working on is making this operation safer, more efficient by the book. The mission is going to improve because of the changes we're making internally. No agency or organization is perfect. President Trump and I, along with others in the administration, have recognized that certain improvements could and should be made. That's exactly what I'm doing here. As such, in meetings I've had with federal law enforcement managers, including ICE and CBP and other federal partners, as well as state and local officials, I have conveyed the president's expectations with regard to federal immigration enforcement efforts. We will conduct targeted enforcement operations.
They have to.
Targeted.
Target.
What we've done for decades. When we hit the streets, we know exactly who we're looking for. Good idea where we may find them. You have a criminal history. You have their immigration history. A lot of information about this person that we get from numerous databases out there. Targeted, strategic enforcement operations. That's traditionally been the case, and that's where we're going. That's what we're going to continue to do and improve upon that.
Yeah, we're going to skip through so I don't.
Have carried out their duties with integrity, professionalism, and compassion.
They may get hit here on copyright. I hope not.
Tremendous circumstances.
Yeah,
but they're trying to do it with professionalism.
They can't do it though with
on the streets of this nation when they're not supposed to be here to begin with.
Exactly. They don't belong here.
I was a border agent. I was an ICE agent. I was the first ICE director that came up through the ranks. I spent
See?
40 years doing this.
40 years.
These men and women that carry that badge and gun are American patriots. They put themselves on the line for this nation every day.
Yep. I
want you to
agree.
Remember, they don't hang their badge. They don't hang their heart on a hook every day they come to work. Their mothers and fathers too. Their sons and daughters too. And if they've seen a fraction of the tragedies I've seen in my career, they take a lot of damage home to every day. The things they've seen, especially on the border with border agents. People drowning in the river. Women being raped by criminal cartels. Giving CPR to a baby that was thrown in the river by the cartels because Border Patrol came too close. So let's throw the baby in the river. That way the Border Patrol was concentrating on that so I can get away.
Yeah.
These men and women see some terrible things. But I want you to remember, they're mothers and fathers too. Many of them are members of this community.
Yeah. A lot of them are actually members of the Minnesota community.
So
How they hide their
dangerous
faces.
threats and hate must stop.
That's why they wear masks.
And we all agreed to that. All everybody met here today.
I don't blame them.
We got to stop the rhetoric, the hateful rhetoric that has caused an increase in assaults. That has caused